Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Liz Easley, and today I'm interviewing three undergraduate researchers at the Body Composition Lab at USC Lancaster. Please introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about your major and where you are in your degree progress.
Okay. Hi, my name is Kennedy Bumbry. I'm a nursing major at University of South Carolina, Lancaster, and I'm graduating with my Associate of Science in May 2025, so May 3rd, Saturday. And I also got into University of South Carolina's upper division, so I will be in their BSN program, and I will hopefully be graduating with my Bachelor's of Science in Nursing in spring 2027.
I'm Annabel Cuddy, and I am a pre-pharmacy major. I'm also graduating with my Associates in Science and Associates in Arts here this Saturday as well in spring 2025. I am going on to MUSC to get my PharmD in 2029.
I am Savannah Craft, and I graduated from Clemson University in 2023 with a degree in biological sciences. And I came here to the USCL campus to do a post-bac program to prepare me for physician's assistant school.
Okay, great. So for the next question, I'm wondering if you can share with me how did you get involved with undergraduate research? And is this something that you planned on doing before you started your collegiate career?
Okay, so I'll go first. So Dr. Easley was my biology 244 lab instructor, and in the spring of 2024, she reached out and asked if I would be willing to join the research study as a research assistant, and I agreed. It was not something that I originally planned on doing in my collegiate career. I definitely was a student who felt like I had to only focus on doing school to get all A's, and I wasn't focused on participating in extracurricular activities, but it seriously has helped me so much in the long run, and I do not regret it at all.
So I did want to do research, but I didn't know this campus had those opportunities here. The way I got involved in research was I had a friend who was also a pre-pharmacy major, Chloe West, who actually worked in the body composition lab last year with Dr. Easley, and she told me more about the undergraduate research process, and I thought it was really interesting and wanted to get involved. So I reached out to Dr. Easley right before this year started, and she said there was still an open spot available and that I could join the lab if I wanted to, and I did. So that's where I got involved.
So I was absolutely terrified of undergraduate research. As a biology major, I thought it was kind of just cellular research, and that was not very interesting to me. When I got to USCL, I took anatomy and physiology with Dr. Selhorst, and I was talking to her about kind of what she does on the campus besides teach, and she told me about the body composition lab and that they were about to start up another season, and I was very interested. So that's how we got into it.
Well, we are glad that you all got involved. Tell me what your favorite part about participating in undergraduate research has been and why.
I think for me, my favorite part about participating in undergraduate research was being able to present my research findings at the Southeast American College of Sports Medicine. That was really cool for me because I felt like throughout all the work that we had done as a team to collect data and recruit athletes, come up with our research question, analyze the data to explain our research question, and then interpret our findings. I felt like presenting at SCA CSM was a way to kind of put all of that together and really be able to showcase to other intellectuals in the exercise science field what I have learned in doing undergraduate research and how I could apply that to my future career as a nurse. And just in general, the data we collected and our interpretations and our findings, I thought that was really cool, as well as also being able to interact with them and find out about others and other research studies going on. And also, being able to make connections between people who did research questions and studies similar to ours. I thought that was a really cool experience, but also in general, just my research team. I love everybody here and I have built long-lasting friendships. So it's been awesome.
For me, I would say much of the same. I really enjoyed doing this research with everyone. This is an amazing team, and I loved working with everyone, including the professors. What I enjoyed particularly about this research study is exploring the part of science that I had never really interacted with. I mainly focus on like chemistry. In the chemistry lab, I love learning about chemistry, but this was my chance to take a step outside of it before starting pharmacy school. So I thought it was really interesting just seeing the other part of science. And since these two are not necessarily like chemistry majors or more nursing, I got to see the other side of it through their perspective. And I thought that was really honestly enriching to myself and my experience here. So that was my favorite part of being here.
So I definitely agree with them and Kennedy as well, because I think that my favorite part has been gaining these lifelong relationships. Not only are we going through the same thing, we can help each other through our school and the struggles that we go through with that. And our mentors can help us through school and through our research, but also after we get done with school, there's still those relationships that you can come back to when you need help.
What a great team. Okay, so moving forward, let's talk a little bit about transferable skills. What transferable skills do you think undergraduate research has helped you develop, and how will these be useful in your future career?
I feel like for me, the skills that I really developed since doing undergraduate research were working so closely with human participants. Obviously, working as a nurse, you're doing the same thing. You're seeing patients at very vulnerable moments of their life, and you do a lot with physical touch. You are touching them, you're interacting with them. And undergraduate research with human participants was very similar in that we were touching their waist and their wrist and their bare feet, things that could be seen as vulnerable parts of their body, touching, their bare skin, that kind of thing. And so I think that can be uncomfortable a lot of the time, not only for the research participant, but also for me as the research assistant. So it taught me to really get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And, even times where I was taking measurements for a participant and I was feeling uncomfortable, I would try and mask that as best as I could and show that I was comfortable, just to not make the research participant feel more uncomfortable. Also, with this, I've also gained just workforce skills in general and learning how, what it's like to have a job, because I didn't have a job before working as a research assistant. So learning how to balance schedules and work as a team. And, there were days when Annabel and I couldn't come in, but Savannah could come in, and kind of working out what worked best for each of us. And when we're doing data collection, a lot of the times we can't all do the same thing at one time. So splitting up the workload and that kind of thing really taught me a lot of skills that I will use as I go into the workforce. I also think just presentation skills in general. Before pursuing undergraduate research, I had not done a single presentation, formally, high school, obviously, but very few times. And presenting is something that's still very uncomfortable for me. I don't like speaking in front of a bunch of people, but I was counting, and since doing research, I've done over 10 presentations, and obviously it's nerve-wracking every time you do it. And always going to make me nervous probably, but I do get more and more comfortable the more that I do it. And it's a skill that I take with me into tutoring when I do review sessions and I present for high school students and that kind of thing. It has definitely helped to build my presentation skills. So yeah, I think that's all.
For me, I would say much of the same things. I really learned how to work in a team. I think that was my number one takeaway. Just working and trusting that the team members want the same goal as you, and just working as a well-oiled machine with our strengths and weaknesses, just helping each other. The other thing I would definitely say is that learning how to speak to other people, in a presentation setting, because I also have not had many opportunities to do any public speaking. And I think this really helped me build my confidence in just speaking and presenting and knowing that I know my stuff and they will see that, and they won't see the nervousness and everything. but also just working with the human participants, like Kennedy said, really everything was just exactly as you said. But I think just working with them and learning like the data collection and just the process will definitely help me, especially if I move into research for pharmacy. I think just knowing how the research process really works and just how to present and just everything in it will just be very helpful in assisting me in the future with that.
So I guess I really don't have anything to say. I would say as a whole, maybe an umbrella term for all of that is like confidence, interpersonal skills, and presentation skills definitely are the things that I learned. I was a very shy person coming into this. I cannot be shy with this group of people. So that's definitely helped me get out of my comfort zone for sure.
Okay, well, we've made it to the part of the interview where I ask about parting words, parting advice. So what advice would you give to a student that is just stepping on campus about undergraduate research, or just anyone that's contemplating coming to a Palmetto College campus?
So I think one of the first things I would say is that, like Savannah had mentioned earlier, I had a misconception that in joining research, I had to be super involved with the research field and super sciencey and, you know, like a very smart intellect and all of those things. I really put high expectations and a lot of pressure on myself. I felt like I couldn't fit the role of a research assistant and working in a research study. But I think it's important for all of the undergraduate students to know that there is no like perfect researcher. And when I joined this team, I had no research experience before this. I was just starting my Associate of Science, BSN kind of thing. So I really had no idea what to expect. And I kind of just trusted that, you know, since Dr. Easley came to this with me and gave me this opportunity, that she knew that I was capable of doing something like this, and I'm so glad that I did. Really, honestly, Dr. Easley and Dr. Selhorst work with you the whole way through. You don't have to worry about ever doing anything by yourself that you've never done before, and you know, feeling like you're thrown into something without having experience. They do such a good job in making you feel comfortable and also having a safe learning environment to make mistakes and learn from them. Nobody expects you to be perfect. So I really encourage all students to pursue undergraduate research, no matter what field they're going into, whether that's the medical field or math, science, English, any of those things. I really feel like you learn so much from research. And I feel like I've learned so much about myself as a person from research also. But also you build, if it's not for any of those reasons, also just to build connections with others on campus. Since doing this, I feel like I've built so many connections with other faculty and other students that I did not have before this. I moved to South Carolina from Virginia about a year into doing this. So I really was very unfamiliar with the campus, and I felt kind of singled out sometimes because I didn't know many people on the campus, and a lot of the students here know each other or have gone to high school with each other. But since then, I really have gotten to know almost, I feel like, a majority of the people on this campus, and that's also really important.
I would say my thing would be stepping outside of your comfort zone. I would say for this campus in particular, it is really easy to just come in, go to your classes, and go home. Like, it is really easy. It is a commuter campus, and that's almost the point. But, and I did that for my whole first year. I was just like, I'm just going to school. I'll worry about it when I get to Columbia or wherever I go after this time here. So I would say it's just really important to take that time to get out of your comfort zone. It really helps you grow. And I mean, you can still succeed even without doing research, but I think it really just helps you look at yourself and learn how to improve areas that you're weak in. It really makes you take a look at yourself being in this. And I think that's just really the most important thing, is if you're just contemplating it, you're like, I don't really know. I think it's best to take the step and just do it, because you'll maybe find something that you love.
So I would say ask around, ask your advisors, ask your professors, your fellow students, what is happening on campus. You never know what opportunities or adventures await you. I definitely didn't think this is where I would be. I didn't think that I was able to do anything like this. So definitely look and see what you can do.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing your research experience with us. And we appreciate your time.